Hey y'all, here's another tutorial video on some Tai Chi basics. This is going to be building off of the Tracing Infinity video I had posted last tutorial, where we were talking about shifting our weight from the ball of the foot to the back heel, to the opposite ball of the foot to the heel, da, 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 da. So it's the same stance. You want to be kind of thinking about that weight shifting as we bring into this, but that's a lot of things at once, so when you do practice this, if you'd like to, let's just pick one thing to focus on at a time. And today's focus is the hands, which can be broken down into two basic concepts, inward reeling and outward reeling. I tried to break this down. Hopefully this is not confusing, but the odds of it being confusing are pretty decent. So let me know and I will try and clarify. But inward reeling So inward reeling is the one where we're going in, down, and out. So I'm bringing it in towards my heart center, down to my center, and out. You can think sternum, center, out. Nice and easy. And then the other way, it's just the exact opposite. So we start low at our center, go up to the sternum or the heart, and expand out. I think gathering into my center, or I'm expanding out from my center. Now you can do both hands inward reeling or both hands outward reeling. If you're getting really comfortable with the tying to the hip, it gets pretty easy to accomplish that, but the timing looks really complicated from the outside. So for now, we're just going to focus on having one hand be the inward reeler and the other hand being the outward reeler, and they'll just travel together, and that's usually for newer students gets picked up easier, so I'm going to focus on that. You might have already noticed, but this circle is going in the same direction as this circle. And it doesn't make sense because one's inward and one's outward. Well, it's because I'm going to say the A hand's doing the inward reeling and the B hand is doing the outward reeling. So combined, they'll move in the same direction, and that's why in the video cut segments, I'm moving with both hands, making just a big circle-ish. So together, they're following along the same path. And it makes the timing a little bit easy for people to grasp. So one of the things you can think about while doing this is, say you have, imagining yourself holding a ball, and you can carry it around. When we're first getting the feeling for the motion, we want to be carrying a ball around. And then over time, you'll be more comfortable with just the inward and the outward doing its own thing, and they'll just carry it together. Now, notice it's kind of not the same as holding a ball, but the ball is just a good way to start to visualize how we're moving. If you are holding a ball physically or just imagining that, you're probably not going to move as far in one direction or the other because you are kind of contained in a way. Try and move my hips, sinking through. You'll notice that I'm pretty small in my area. Now if I drop this and let my inward and outward go, they'll get closer together and then farther away, just as they freely move. So now I have more range or area, however you want to think about it, than I would with the ball. Because trying to get this big range with the ball, I'll end up maybe hurting my lower back a little bit, overstretching my arms. So we keep it smaller. And it's an a-okay place to start. And lastly, we got to tie the hands to the hips, which is the principle of cross connection, which can be very tricky to understand. We're not going to go into it super heavily. And we're just going to focus on 2 cues that I give to new students to help them get the general idea when they're first starting to move. But real quickly, cross connection is when your A hand is connected to your B foot, your A elbow is connected to your B knee, your A shoulder is connected to your B hip. That's it for now. Now the 2 cues I use are, for my inward reeling is what's that on my leg, and for my outward reeling, surprise glitter. What does that mean, other than I have questionable handwriting in this moment? Well, I'm going to show you. Inward reeling cue, which is what's on my leg. So inward reeling, if you remember, from the heart down to the center. So I like to think of, oh my gosh, there's like something on the corner of my eye catches my eye, and I'm like, what is that? Oh, it's nothing. So you're going to notice that the hips move in correspondence to that. So it's like if somebody was going to poke you in the leg, you're like, please don't do that. 2 things are happening. 1, you're moving your leg away. And 2, you're also brushing them away. Like, no, And then you check and go, oh, is there anything on my hand? No, okay, I'm fine. Outward reeling cue, surprise glitter, or painting the canvas. So painting the canvas, we're gathering our paint and spreading it across the canvas. But to get that hip action a little bit more involved, I sometimes like to use the cue surprise glitter, because I want you to think of that little bit of like, aha, surprise, here you are. So we want to have that little sink in here as we gather in our glitter or our paint, whatever it is, before we reveal it. So again, I like the thought of nice, easy painting, spreading the paint along the canvas. Just make sure you have that little bit of element of surprise, where you have that little